New mini box Fortress of Gears. I'll be showing gameplay of combos. This is a quick review which will be talking about Machina, Heroes, Aroma, Blackluster Soldier, and Resonators.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We're going to start off with non-main support ultra rare and super rare cards. So these are ultra rare and super rares that are not tied to any of these specific deck types. Starting off with ultra rare Ballista Squad. Tribute a monster, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. This is competing with cards like Floodgate, Wall of D, Canadia, cards that are generic back row. But this will be better in some decks than others. This could be used with Blue Eyes White Dragon, Shiranui, or Orcus. Any deck with expendable monsters. For Blue Eyes, you could use Sage or Ancients. For Shiranui, it's a good way to get your Spectral Sword in the grave. And for Orcus, any Orcus you summon from the grave or deck or summon with Salvo. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, a level 10 synchro, 3500 attack. You could tribute a monster to summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your grave. If it deals damage, you could summon 2 tuners onto the field, one from the deck, one from the grave. You could summon this possibly easily in an Assault Mode deck or even a Resonator deck. An example of summoning Red Dragon Archfiend very easily is just a Psy Reflector, and you could easily summon your Red Dragon Archfiend. Then you would need a level 2 tuner alongside the Red Dragon Archfiend to then make your hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Moving on to Splendid Rose, level 6 generic synchro. It does not have any tuner or non-tuner requirements. You have the opponent's attack by banishing a plant from the grave. Then you could banish another plant from the grave to have its own attack to perform a double attack within the battle phase. You could use this in a level 6 synchro deck. This is a recent level 6 synchro deck I used on YouTube. Sky Striker Maneuver Jamming Waves. This is not for the Sky Striker deck type for Duel Links. I know that's a deck type in TCG, but right now it's just a generic card. It destroys a set spell and trap on the field if you control no monsters. Then if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard with this on the field, so it's not going to go to the grave and count as the 3, you could also destroy a monster in additional to the destroyed set card. So you could use this with Charge of Light Brigade as you mill the top 3 cards of your deck to add a Light Sworn to potentially mill spells in addition to the charge to use the Sky Striker for destroying 2 cards. And then the final generic super rare ultra rare card is Wall of Thorns. When a plant is targeted for an attack, you could flip this up, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. It is a mirror force from the TCG. On to the first deck type, Machina. Now, a reminder, I will be showing all the combos with all of the decks today to show you how the deck works. Machina Fortress, you discard a level 8+. It can include itself to summon from the hand or grave. So if you have a level 1 machine plus a Machina Fortress in your hand, you could discard itself and the level 1 to summon itself onto the field. It could even be itself plus a level 4. It's just good to know that you could discard itself if it's in the hand to be part of the cost to summon it. At 2500 attack, if destroyed by battle, you will destroy any card on the field, so you could swing into a bigger monster to destroy it. And if targeted by a monster effect, you get to look at your opponent's hand and discard any card. Unfortunately, this card does not do well against Saber Dancer nor Cockatoo since they cannot be targeted by card effects, so you're going to need a way to get bigger than them to take them out. And then we have Machina Gear Frame. This on summon will search for your Fortress or your Mega Form. We'll talk about Mega Form, but this makes Fortress a lot more consistent. Summon Gear Frame, search your Fortress, then summon your Fortress on the field by discarding a level 8 or itself plus any other monster. Then Machina Gear Frame has a second effect. On summon, you search for Fortress. The second effect is you can equip onto a Machina on the field, and it will be protected from all destruction by sending itself to the graveyard as an equip card. So if they were to Black Rose Dragon or Judgment Dragon the entire field, you would send your Gear Frame to the graveyard to protect your Fortress. Now here's an old card, came out in 2017. Peacekeeper is not being reprinted. It might be useful in this deck if destroyed on the field as an equip or as set. If they attack into it, destroy it anyway, it will search for your Gear Frame, and then you already know Gear Frame will search for Fortress. Then we have Machina Mega Form, a level 8 machine. So you have this in your hand with a Fortress in the hand or in the grave. You could discard the Mega Form to summon your Fortress. Then, if anything were to happen to Fortress, if it were to be sent to the graveyard, you banish your Fortress from the grave to summon your Mega Form from the graveyard onto the field as 2600 attack. Then while on the field, you could tribute it to summon another fortress from the deck onto the field. We're going to summon Gear Frame to search our deck for a Mega Form. Then we're going to discard Mega Form to summon a fortress. Then we're going to equip Gear Frame onto the fortress. Now, what this field means is if fortress were to be destroyed by battle or card effect, you send Gear Frame to protect it instead. Then if it were to be destroyed again afterward by battle, it would activate to destroy any monster or card in the field. So if a Blue Eyes White Dragon attacked over it, you would destroy that Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then you would banish the fortress to summon Mega Form onto the field after the fortress hits to the grave. Then on your next turn, after you draw, you could then activate the Mega Form to summon a fortress from the deck by tributing off the Mega Form. And then as you can see, we drew a Peacekeeper. We could summon Peacekeeper, equip it onto the fortress. If something happens to the fortress, it will destroy the Peacekeeper, and then we will search for a Gear Frame, which could search for a fortress again. Let's talk about heroes. Vision Hero Ferris Ultra Rare. You discard another hero to summon this onto the field, and then you equip your back row with a Vision Hero from the deck. Vision Hero Increase is a good example of what you're going to put in your back row. We'll talk about that in a second. You could use Stratos to search for your Ferris, and as you'll see in a bit, plus any hero with a Ferris will equal a Vision Hero Trinity 5,000 attack, triple attack. So speaking of Vision Hero Increase, which is a super rare, if it's in the hand, if you take any damage, you could place it in your back row. If it's in the deck, you're going to place it in the back row with the effect of Ferris. While in the back row, you could tribute a hero, which could be the Ferris in the field, to summon it on the field. Then it will summon a Vision Hero from the deck, which could be a Vision Hero Vian. Vision Hero Vian on summon from the deck or normal summon, you could send a hero from the deck to the graveyard. You could also banish a hero from the grave to add a Polymerization. Malicious is a good example of a monster to send from the deck to the grave. Now, let's get into a replay. We have Ferris plus it could be any hero in the hand. Let's play the replay. Discard summon. We're going to put Increase in the back row. Tribute off the Ferris to summon Increase. Then summon a Vine from the deck. Then with Vine, we're going to send a Malicious to the graveyard from the deck. Banish the Malicious to summon a Malicious on the field. Activate Vion's second effect to banish a Ferris. Add a Polymerization. With 3 monsters on the field, we're going to send all 3 to the grave to summon Vision Hero Trinity. 5,000 attack on its summon and can attack 3 times. Now we're on to Arrow Mage. Super rare, Humid Winds. Continuous trap, pay 1,000, search for an Aroma, or gain 500 life. You can only use one of these effects once per turn. Arrow Mage Marjoram. Level 5, so it is a tribute summon, but the way to summon it is if a plant you control is destroyed by battle, summon this from your hand and gain 500 life. Also, when you gain life, you could banish cards from your opponent's graveyard up to the aromas you control. That's going to work well with this new card called Dried Winds, another continuous trap. If you gain life, you could destroy a face-up monster. So if they destroy your plant, you'll summon Majoram, you'll gain life, and with Dried Winds face-up on the field, you will get to destroy a face-up monster. The second effect is if you are at least 3,000 life or higher, you could pay any amount of life to destroy combined attack of monsters on the field equal to the life you paid or less. Blessed Winds, another continuous card. It could send a plant from the hand or field to the grave to gain 500 life, or you could shuffle a plant from the grave back in the deck to gain 500 life, or you could pay 1,000 life to special summon an Aroma from the grave. You could only choose to activate one of these effects. And the final Aroma card worth talking about is a continuous spell, Aroma Gardening. On an Aroma summon, you gain 1,000 life. Also, if your life is lower than your opponent when they attack, you could special summon an Aroma from your deck. Now let's quickly see this deck in action. All right, we have a Rosemary, Majoram, a Dried Winds, and a Humid Winds. Let's see what happens. We're just going to set both of our traps, summon a Rosemary. Now, with Dried Winds face up, they attacked our Rosemary and destroyed it by battle, which will trigger the Majoram to summon onto the field and gain 500 life, which will trigger the Dried Winds to destroy the monster that destroyed our Rosemary by battle. Also, within that turn, we're going to activate Humid Winds. Humid Winds will pay 1,000 life to search for our Angelica. And on our opponent's turn, before they end their turn, we're going to discard the Angelica to target the Rosemary in the grave to gain 1,800 life with the effect of Angelica. Now, finally, it is our turn. On our turn, we can activate Humid Winds to gain 500 life unless we want to search our deck for an Arrow Mage. Otherwise, because our life is higher than our opponent's, we can activate Angelica from the grave to special summon onto the field, then Synchro Shokan into an Arrow Mage Rosemary. Rosemary will be 2500 attack, boosting up all plant monsters by 500 as long as our life is higher. Also, once per turn, if we gain life, we could target a face-up card your opponent controls and negate its effects. So that is a quick sample of how this deck can work. On to Black Luster Soldier, we have Envoy of Chaos, a super rare card. You could discard this card to boost up your Black Luster Soldier or a Gaia the Fierce Knight, gain 1500 attack, and if it battles with a monster, that monster will become the original attack of your Black Luster Soldier or Gaia, while you maintain that 1500 attack boost to deal 1500 damage. That means that no matter how big their monster is, you're going to deal 1500 damage over. That's a hard counter to Invoker, as Invoker is in the damage step, and you turn their attack into your original attack at damage calculation. So it does not matter. Concentrating Current, Obelisk the Tormentor, you are going to gain 1500 over them as they become your original attack. Also in the end phase, you could add it from the grave back to your hand to reuse again if you banish a light and dark that's not including itself from the grave to add it back to your hand. Now we got Super Soldier Soul. You send a BLS from your hand to the graveyard while this is on the field as a level 1. It's not a tuner. It becomes 3000 attack until your opponent's end phase. Also, while in the graveyard, you could banish it to add a Beginning Night or Evening Twilight, which are these two monsters that we are going to talk about in a second. Now, before we talk about the other new cards, it's important to know that we're going to use this ritual spell called Super Soldier Synthesis. To activate this card, you send a light and a dark using your hand and your deck to summon your Black Luster Soldier from your hand or grave, and Black Luster Soldier is a very simple 3000 attack, no card effect. So using Super Soldier Synthesis with your Beginning Night, it will give your Black Luster Soldier some card effects. So no longer will your Black Luster Soldier have no card effect when you use the Beginning Night from the hand or the deck for the ritual. It will give the effect to your Black Luster Soldier to once per turn banish an opponent's monster, or if you destroy an opponent's monster by battle, you could perform a second attack. Also, if banished from the grave, you could add a ritual spell, and as we said with the Envoy of Chaos earlier, you could banish a light and dark from the grave, which could be the Beginning Night and another card, to add Envoy of Chaos from the grave back to the hand. Now with the Super Soldier Synthesis, with the Beginning Night, you could also send from the deck or use from the hand your Evening Twilight, which is the dark version. It will also give the effect to your Black Luster Soldier to banish an opponent's monster, which is the same effect, but its second effect is a little different. You could banish a random card from your opponent's hand until their end phase. And when banished from the grave, it could add a ritual monster, while the Beginning Night will add a ritual spell when banished. The final new Black Luster Soldier card that's worth talking about is Super Soldier Shield. If you have a Black Luster Soldier on the field, when a spell, trap, or monster effect is targeting any card on the field, you will negate and destroy that effect. Also, you could reset this from the graveyard back onto the field. It does get banished afterward by removing a spell counter from the field, and you're going to play Gateway to Chaos to have a spell counter, as when you activate Gateway, it searches for the Super Soldier Synthesis. Also, when a monster, including your opponent's monster, is sent to the graveyard, you gain a spell counter on this card, which you could remove that spell counter for the Super Soldier Shield to reuse the trap. In this deck, we'll likely be using Arisen Gaia the Fierce Knight and Charging Gaia. Both monsters have ways to summon onto the field very easily without tributing, but if you tribute them at all and through any card effect, the Arisen will summon a BLS from the hand or grave, and if you tribute the Charging, you could add a BLS from your deck to your hand. So with the Ballista Squad, you tribute it to destroy a card in the field. That's a way to tribute it, or you could tribute with Silent Swordsman. Those are good ways to trigger their effects. Now let's see this deck in action. All right, we have an Evening Twilight, the Envoy of Chaos, the Ritual Spell, and the Black Luster Soldier. Let's activate the Ritual Spell, sending the Evening and also sending a Beginning from the deck to the graveyard. So that's a light and dark. It equals level 8. That will summon our Black Luster Soldier. Now, Black Luster Soldier will have the effect of banishing any monster the opponent controls. Also, when destroying a monster by battle, it could perform a second attack. Also, we could banish a random card from our opponent's hand until their end turn. Now, I discard Envoy of Chaos here to replicate us going into battle. No matter how big their monster is, the Envoy of Chaos is going to boost up Black Luster Soldier to 4500, and their monster will become 3000 in the damage calculation. It does not matter if they concentrate in Current or use Invoker. If they're at 10,000 attack, they will become 3000 at damage calculation, and they will take 1500. Now it's the end of the turn. We're going to banish the Beginning and the Evening with the effect of Envoy to add it from the grave back to the hand, which will also trigger the effects of Beginning and Evening when and banish to add a ritual spell and a ritual monster. So again, we're going to use Super Soldier Synthesis, sending the envoy from the hand to the grave, which is a dark, and then we want to send a light, not the evening. We'll send a light from the deck to the graveyard to summon another Blackluster Soldier onto the field, which again, that new Blackluster Soldier will have the effects of the beginning night, which will give it the ability to banish any monster on the field and also perform a double attack after destroying a monster by battle. Maybe if the dark didn't look light while the light looks dark. Okay, Konami. Now let's talk about Resonators. We have a super rare Resonator card. When this card is normal or special summoned while you control no other monsters, you could special summon a level 3 or lower fiend type tuner from your hand or graveyard. So for example, we will summon a red Resonator or a dark Resonator, a level 2 and level 3, which could make a level 6 synchro, level 7 synchro, or even a level 8 dark dragon synchro. These are relevant cards with this card. We'll show the combos very soon. Another new Resonator card is Red Warg. When you normal summon a Resonator, you could special summon this card from your hand. It's level 6, so you can create a level 8 or a level 9 synchro. Let's get on to the combos. For this combo, we simply have a level 2 tuner Resonator, a Red Warg, and a Red Sprinter. Let's do the combo. Summon a Red Resonator, special summon the Warg from the hand, synchro Shokan into a Red Dragon Archfiend, and then we're putting it into the grave to simulate it being destroyed by battle or card effect, and then it's our next turn. We have nothing on the field. It's not coming back. This is it. We did that combo and it was dealt with. So with the Red Sprinter, we'll summon it to special summon Red Resonator from the grave onto the field. We're going to synchro those two into a Red Rising Dragon, which will special summon Red Resonator back onto the field. So level 6 into a level 2 tuner. Again, make our Red Dragon Archfiend. So that's a good example of Red Sprinter being a good follow-up card after synchroing using your Red Warg. And that is it for Fortress of Gears review. Make sure you check out the stream and this channel for more decks, which will be coming very soon. And that is it for the Fortress of Gears quick review. Let me know if you enjoyed this very quick overview of how the cards work, so you are ready for this release. Make sure to check me out on twitch.tv/DuelLinksMeta. I'm very likely streaming the new box brand new live right now.